Tables are heavy. Xavier, I can see that you're green, but I can't hear you. There you go. Holy shit. Look at the cat dragon. Alright, alright, alright. What were we doing? Ants? Remind me why you're talking to ants.
Because I want them to help me navigate.
Right. Okay. So you pointed at a random ant and just kind of elected as interim leader, and you asked him where the exits are. He will respond by telling you that there are 365 exits.
Right? Which is the safest one?
They will immediately respond and tell you the one you just came from is the safest exit.
Alright, which one does the lady who comes here use?
He will repeat the one you just came from.
Alright, when she comes in, where does she go?
You'll say, well, she goes all over. I mean, this place is over 100 square feet. There's lots of places to go.
Please. Um, I'll help you understand. What path does she usually use most often?
There's a lot of different rooms in this labyrinth, and a lot of the dead ends have stuff in them. And I'm an ant. I don't know what they do.
I'm an ant. Don't know.
I don't
Alright.
understand why you humans do anything. I mean, a really intelligent creature would spend a lot more time digging and gathering food for their queen than doing all this other stuff you do.
Yeah, whatever. Fine. You weren't any help. I truly don't know why I asked you. Thank you, though, since the hive was useful somehow.
You're gonna see his tiny little ant legs throw up in a shrug. What do you want from me? I'm an ant.
I, I'm sorry. I expected a lot from you.
The ants will continue devouring the mayonnaise that is on the wall.
Well, since you're eating our only way of seeing where we're going, would you mind not eating the stuff I'm gonna put?
If you put down food, we're gonna eat the food and take it to the queen. We're trying to produce more offspring, you know?
No, I'm putting down rope. You're not gonna take rope now, are you?
Rope isn't food, but this stuff definitely is. It's tasty.
Yeah, sure. As Xavier's just gonna start using his blades to cut the rope.
You're gonna cut the rope?
Yeah, it's 50 feet, so 1 foot is a bit too big. So yeah, I'm cutting the rope into 100 pieces.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yes, so we have a way.
Yeah, they have no interest in eating the rope. It's not edible.
Right, great. Now I'm just gonna be like, fine. Let's just pick a path and go on ahead. Which one would you like to choose? As I look at the king.
Wait, did I say square feet instead of square miles? I'm a dumbass.
Was this labyrinth made for ants?
Wait a minute, I think I've got my math completely wrong because I'm looking at the number of cubes. Fuck. I don't know how many square feet or square miles it is, but it's big as fuck.
Alright, it's big. We'll trust you.
It's
Uh,
many miles in many directions. How about that?
Uh, David is just gonna look at them. Or would you mind that we take a short rest here so I can turn into a fast animal and start navigating this area?
Are you asking the king?
I was asking the king and Swift.
The king does not care.
Right, do you care, Swift? If we spend 1 hour here? The short rest, I assume. Alright. Yeah, so we take a short rest so I get my wild shapes back. And then after it's done, I'll turn into a moon bounder and start and put rope in my mouth and drop it as I'm running around.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll just look at them and I'm just like before I transform, obviously. Uh, so we can navigate a lot of area. You two obviously have to be with each other since Swift can't stay on his own. So I can navigate some areas that you guys choose not to, and if anything happens, just yell and I'll be there in an instant. Does that sound good? By the way, I just thought of something I can do. What are the walls made of, Zeno?
Dirt. Hard packed dirt.
So you're saying an earth elemental would have no problem smashing his way through?
That depends. Does it specify it has to be loose dirt?
No. Actually, ignore that. Zeno, I'm borrowing, or you know what I'm saying.
Okay.
And I'll just turn into a earth elemental and then go straight on ahead.
All
So
right.
I'm gonna be able to stop me since I'm underground.
All right. You burrow and burrow and burrow for as long as you can burrow for and find nothing but more tunnels.
So like nothing useful.
Literally nothing.
Hmm. Well, I go back to where I was and I start going with my initial plan. All right. So we slip into two. You and the king, and I on on my own. Any objections? Great. You pick a path, and I'll choose one of the others. There's from 1 to 6, so just choose a random. Well, considering she's man, I don't know. Just when she comes, we'll tell her our plan, and she can do what she wants.
By the way, which direction did you burrow?
Straight ahead, like in a
So north. Okay.
yeah.
All right. So you have a pretty good idea of where north is because you made a very, very, very long tunnel in one direction, so you can always come back to this spot and know which direction north is. So which direction is the group heading?
Well, I came back. We're still in front of the door now, so I'm just asking them which door or path they want to choose, since we have 6 options. Okay,
All right. 5 points you due east.
and I'll go with door number 2.
Door number 2 takes you due west.
So we're split. Swift is with King Rex since he can see in the dark, and I'm on my own as a moonbounder, so I can explore as much area as fast as possible.
Alright, so how are you keeping track of where you're going, and what are you using to decide which directions to take when you come to an intersection?
Uh, well, for myself, I'm using ropes that I'm dropping along while I'm running, and with how I'm deciding, I'll just always go right, because right is always right.
Alright, and you have 50 of them?
100.
100. So that's 100 intersections that you mark. After several hours of walking, you run out of rope and have still found nothing. Swift, are you a cartographer? Do you have the cartography feat? Make a wisdom survival check for me.
Why did you say wisdom survival? Why did you add the wisdom part? It's just a survival check.
Oh, sorry. Okay, survival.
Well, so you're telling me after 100 intersections, I don't find even one room.
You do not. You don't even find a single
The
dead end.
oh, just fine. Oh,
You immediately get confused, and you also very quickly run out of paper as you go through about 100 intersections, which is way more than you have enough paper for. I'd like you to make a survival check again to not get lost.
wouldn't the king be able to help him? Question mark, question.
Nope.
I tried to help you, man.
Alright. You were able to find your way back to the starting position with the rest of the group without getting lost. But you searched for literal hours and found absolutely nothing. It starts to dawn on you that this place is not a couple hundred feet, it's many hundreds of miles.
Right? Xavier is just gonna be like, well, I'm breaking the walls. It's our only option since neither of us aren't smart enough for this. I'll just start breaking the walls.
Alright, you can break as many walls as you like.
Well, I'll choose to start with northwest.
Northwest. Okay.
Start breaking walls that direction.
Alright. For how many miles are you traveling?
Uh, well, let's see. Um, I'll do it for like about what are miles in feet?
Miles and feet? Let me check. They're over 5,000 feet in a mile.
You said this is many miles.
Yes, hundreds of miles. And they're 5,000
Okay.
feet plus in a mile.
Okay. So, hmm. Can I just survival my way out of this, man? Can I just keep relying on survival with this? Breaking it isn't gonna protect.
So, how far are you traveling, though? You said you were heading northwest. For how far?
Let's see. I'll go for. I can run very fast as an action, as a bonus action. So I'll say I'll go for. I can. All right, for about 1,000 feet.
Okay, so not even a mile. You hit nothing but dirt walls the entire time.
I keep on going since there's no point of stopping.
Alright, how far are you going?
Another 1,000.
Nothing but dirt.
Another 1,000.
Nothing but dirt.
Another 1,000.
How many miles are you willing to travel before you give up?
Miles? You said
Miles.
fine, I'll just go for 2 miles.
That's not even one square on the map, my dude.
Fine, I'll go for fine, Zeno. Fine. You said hundreds of miles. I'll trust you. I'll just stay for hours crushing the walls for fine 50 miles. You know, I'm going for. Is that what you want? You want just my character to die? 'Cause you're gonna have
How fast are you moving when you're burrowing?
30 feet.
30 feet. Yeah, I said 5,000 feet plus. So you have a speed of 30 feet, which means you have a walking speed of 2.5 miles per hour. So 15 miles would take 6 hours.
Sure.
So after 6 hours of non-stop tunneling, you see that the dirt changes to sandstone. Make a survival check.
27.
Based on the terrain, you're confident that you are now in the Scorchfoot Desert. That's how far this labyrinth spreads.
My God. Jesus. Am I just gonna go to another continent this way? Is this what's happening, Tino?
Only one way to find out, my dude.
Ah, well, since for 6 hours my elemental would stop happening, take a short rest and carry on burrowing and burrowing and burrowing.
Alright, we're gonna put you on hold and hop on over to Swift. Um, which direction are you traveling and how far are you traveling before you give up and change tack? Or are you traveling 6 hours like Xavier did? More than welcome to do so. Alright, if I remember correctly, Swift, you were headed due east. And if you're traveling east for 6 hours, let me count really quickly. So, six. I'm so bad at math. Why am I like this? Okay. I made a note, thank God. Alright, so you move 15 miles straight east. Um, and at this point, you finally, finally encounter what appears to be a room. You see a bathroom, a storage of rations, and a polishing stone, and some spare common arms and armor sized for a minotaur. King Rex is going to look around to see if there is any bed nearby. He's going to wander into the next room and see that there are some what look to be fairly recently placed beds, and he's just gonna flop on one and take a short rest so that he doesn't get exhausted. All right. You spend 1 hour and you hear absolutely nothing. However, I would still like you to make a perception check regardless to see if there's anything about this otherwise dead area that might be useful. With the 14, you're able to find a trapdoor on the floor.
I think he was going to use his ability that you love, Zeno.
You already succeed. You don't need to use reliable talent. Swift, tell you what. I'm actually gonna address this really quickly. If I call for a check and the minimum possible roll with your reliable talent is greater than 15, just tell me instead of rolling. But yeah, you were able to find a trapdoor on the floor. Alright, you see there's a ladder that goes about 30 feet straight down into a dark, unlit path straight downwards. Alright, when the king sees the trapdoor and he goes, hey, maybe there's treasure down here, and he's just gonna straight up hop in, grab the ladder by the sides, and fireman slide all the way to the bottom. As you follow him down, you see that you're in another labyrinth with another trapdoor. He flips it open, slides down, flips down another trapdoor, slides down, and after about a mile, the earth transfers into stone, which then transforms into a very strange black stone, and then suddenly the ladder opens up into a massive cave. You are surrounded on all sides by drow. There is a thriving marketplace, people bustling around. There's an occasional Dwergar or Darrow, and even a couple of Tieflings wandering around. Can you roll below a 15 on a survival check?
Yes, he can.
Alright, go ahead and roll. You've only ever heard of it, but no one's ever confirmed its existence. But you're in the Underdark. You're in the Underdark. There's a sign near the ladder that says, Welcome to Menzo Berenzin. Spider monkeys. I might be pronouncing it wrong. Let me double check. Oh, yeah, Menzo Berenzin. Yeah, you got it right. Only one way to find out. So Swift, you appear to be in the Underdark in the middle of a drow city. You have completely bypassed the Minotaur's labyrinth and entered a different environment entirely. It has been below your feet the entire time. All right, you turn into a drow and start walking around the marketplace. If you want to mingle with the locals, make a persuasion check. With a 19, you bump into a a Dwergar who's got a what appears to be a modified bag of holding, a pickaxe and a shovel, and he looks like he's heading straight for the ladder. And he gets about 3 steps up before you stop and talk to him. And after a little bit of idle chatter about his extremely boring life and his 24 children, he goes, "Oh, don't mind me. I'm just going up to continue digging this labyrinth that Freya requested." Of course I do. She's one of our best patrons. She's made some very powerful alliances with the Drow, the Dwergar, the Darrow, everyone. She's even trying to make an alliance with the Illithid, which is very dangerous. Oh, a map? That's not even necessary. She's over at the Temple of Grazit. But, you seem new here, so maybe I should explain something. Are you with the construction crew? Ah! Well, I'm sorry she didn't tell you. He'll pull out a massive scroll of Rexland, but from underground, and he goes, "This is Project Temper Tantrum." Aptly named, if you ask me. If Freya doesn't get what she wants, she's going to collapse Rex City from underneath. And she has paid us a massive sum of magical gems to do so. Yes, Rex is standing right next to you, and he looks absolutely horrified. He goes, "What do you mean they're gonna collapse Rex City?" He's like, "Well, all the load-bearing walls are charged with earth runes, and if she doesn't get what she wants, she can snap her fingers and deploy all of them. The whole city will descend into a sinkhole. Honestly, most of the work was already done for us by our dwarven brothers upstairs." Of course, they never meant to collapse the place, but they sure did make our work a lot easier. Come, newbie, let me show you around the place. And with that, we're going to put you on pause. Shanuwani, which direction were you heading? Xavier went northwest. Swift and the King went due east. Where did you head?
I'm gonna go look for Minotaur tracks real quick.
Absolutely. Roll survival.
Such a good idea. Why didn't we do that?
You immediately find Minotaur tracks.
I will follow them.
They are heading due west.
Yeah,
Xavier, you should.
And this is why you usually listen to me. Yeah, the fact of the matter is, you guys. I feel like a walking that one joke that I read, where it shows three guys on one side of the river, and they have a genie who gives each person one wish. The first man goes, "I wish to have the strength to go across this river." He's given strong arms and legs, and he takes him 3 hours to cross the river. Second one, "I wish to have the strength and ingenuity to cross this river." He gives him arms and legs and again tools to make a boat. He crosses it in 2 hours. The third one goes, "I wish to have the strength, ingenuity, and intelligence to cross this river." Which she turns him into the genie turns him into a woman. She looks at a map and crosses the bridge. Come on, guys! Come on, use your noodles.
All right, Shanuwani, you go due west, and then very quickly it takes a diagonal to southwest. And judging by the distance that you are crossing, and the fact that you know where north is, you might be able to figure out where you're headed and where you're at underground. Make a survival check. You have only a vague idea that you're going southwest, but you don't know exactly where you are underground or where you're going. But then you come to, after many, many hours of just walking, you notice that no matter how many alternate routes there are, there's always at least one pathway going exactly this way. And at this point, you've lost track of the actual footprints, but you're just going this direction because that's where the footprints were headed. And you eventually come to a clearing where instead of walls, there are pillars. 5-foot wide, 20-foot high pillars spaced 20 feet apart. And inside each of these pillars looks to be a hole, like a drilled hole.
I will look into them.
Make a, do you have dark vision? Yes, you do. With your dark vision, you look into the hole and you can see that there's just a little stone with a hand-carved dwarven marking. You don't speak
Arcana
dwarven.
check.
Arcana check? Go ahead. You immediately recognize this as a dwarven earth rune for earthquake. If this rune goes off, this pillar would shatter. And as you look around, all of these pillars have the exact same rune.
All right. Can I remove the rune?
Yeah, it's about a 6-inch diameter hole, and it's 2.5 feet deep. How are you getting it out?
All right. I am going to first. I'm going to check for any traps.
Roll for investigation. Make a sleight of hand check at disadvantage. And while you're doing that, Swift, what do you mean that you gotta go? Are you, oh, okay, never mind. Swift, do you have some? Do you need to leave the session, or are you just upset because you feel stupid? I can't tell. Okay. All right, Shanawani, you're able to. You hear a click, and you instinctively pull out your hand, and you see a 9-inch nail just slam into that little 6-inch diameter hole, and it would have pinned your finger to the hole.
All right. 1 second while I check my inventory real quick.
You can hear a clicking sound as the 9-inch nail slowly retreats back into position. Click, 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 moving an inch at a time.
All right. Shanawani's gonna well, is gonna take one of the pitons out of her pack.
All right. As you hover the piton near the entrance of the hole, the rune actually comes out of its own, almost of its own free will, and snaps to the metal at high speed, and it starts to vibrate. Now that it's out and about, you can see that this is hematite, a slightly magical magnetic stone.
Huh. She takes the hematite off the rune off the piton, and she's gonna do the same thing to each to each of the runes in the pillars.
One moment. It very quickly dawns on you that these pillars extend for many miles in all directions. You would 100% need a team to disarm all of them. As you sort of look out into the distance, there are just pillars for miles around. This would have had to have been a years-long operation, way before Freya ever came to town. You also know, with your time in the Drow, that hematite is a mineral that can only be mined, as far as you are aware, from the Drow mines way over in Isla de Arañas.
She thinks, well, this would probably make sure I giggle with delight. Like, but okay. She's gonna like she's gonna take one of the pitons and slam it into the ground to make it be like make a mark of that she was there, and she's gonna this is probably gonna be a weird thing that she's gonna do, but she's gonna take her alchemy jet, like take a like and start pouring mayonnaise back to get a very thin stream back to the entrance.
You notice that ants come out of every crevice to immediately eat the mayonnaise. They pick up little globules, pick it up, and carry it back into their hive.
I wish I had Xavier here. Well, yeah, Shanawani, because I'm still gonna have to try and figure out a way to mark my way back. She gives it some thought, and
You do notice that the ground, while technically stone, is relatively soft, so you could scrape it or mark it or punch into it if need be, but leaving anything edible on the ground would almost certainly be immediately eaten.
all right, she'll take out her crowbar and she will make marks to mark her way back to the entrance.
Absolutely. It takes you... So it was roughly 6 hours there and 6 hours back, since you've been walking around a very exhausting terrain for 12 hours nonstop, make a con save against exhaustion. All right. You manage to pace yourself, keep calm, take a break when need be, and not completely exhaust yourself through the process. And while you are spending 6 hours walking back, Xavier, um, as you realize that the terrain is changing to sandstone, make a perception check for me.
Let me check what my perception in this form is.
And if you have any advantage that gives you advantage on hearing, you can get advantage.
Okay. No, it's my normal perception.
You hear absolutely nothing but the echoes of your own breath in the halls around you.
Well, considering I was taking a short rest since I've been I'm in a new biome now, Xavier's gonna start going back
You do
through the
not.
wall destroyed, so shouldn't get lost, I hope.
All right. As you start to walk away, and you turn your head behind you, you do see some. There's some very very loud scuttling across the ground as scorpions almost migrate in mass around the ground, but they don't leave the sandstone for the dirt. So you are completely unaffected as they sort of migrate en masse where you were previously standing. It could have been an encounter if you had gone farther without preparing.
Well, I wasn't gonna meta game, so yeah, I'll just go back to where we started.
All right, make a con save versus exhaustion as you are traveling for 12 hours straight.
I took a short rest in between, man. So it's only 6 hours.
Okay. If that's the case, I won't let you make your roll, and we'll hop back over to Swift. Swift, you were given an invitation to the Temple of Grazet. Should you want to take it? Well, what's the package that you're looking for? Perhaps I can point you in the right direction. My name? My name is. One moment.
Lumma rumma ding dong.
I have a proper thing for this. Ah, Obakog.
Zeno, are you trying to figure out how to say your character's name?
Took a stab at it. It's a random letter generator. That looks like Obakog to me, don't you think?
Sure. Whatever me with experience.
Obaquiog, maybe? I don't know. Obakog has more fluidity to it. Alright, do you climb back up the stairs and go back? Shanawani, it's a random letter generator, so it spits out random garbage. All right. So, Swift, you get to the starting point first before everyone else, because they had 12-hour journeys, whereas yours was much shorter. So, is there anything you want to say or do, or do you just set up camp and take a short rest? All right. You all, after 12 hours, meet back up near the entrance.
Shanawani tosses the rune at Swift's feet. There's a whole lot more, and than than just that.
Wait a minute, Swift. Who told you? Did you meet anyone?
This entire that miles around that's a rune of earthquake. They all trigger. Rexland is going to have a very going to be in a very deep hole.
I have a question. Would you say that the spelling using the spell magic would it work on the
Uh, Mind if I roll an Arcana check real quick?
Go for it. I will also Google it because I don't know what the check would be. One sec. With a 21, you know you can absolutely dispel it, but it would be very difficult to do. Like, there's a high chance of failure. Plus, there's quite a few of them, so this is not something one person could do. You would need, like, an army of. I mean, even apprentice wizards would be able to help, but you'd need a lot of them. An entire school's worth, possibly.
I
so
know
I
what you're
guess
stabbing
think
at here. I know you're hitting us over the head with this, Shauna. When he goes, the college can remove these, but I think maybe we should remove them first, because if we just leave them in there, we're just gonna because she might trigger them in any moment.
if
Luckily, I marked the way there.
well you can go ahead and do that, but I think that the best solution right now is killing her. If she's dead, she can't command them to do so.
Yeah, but
Plus,
she
me and
might. But in the
just
struggle, she might. Uh,
hear me
wait a
out.
moment. Oh, if we just kill her, she in the fight, she might end up triggering them in the fight, and this we'd end up running the risk of sending Rexland back to down that hole regardless. And I probably can't, and I can't hear you, Xavier.
What, why did you ask me?
Because I thought your internet tech crap, so I was checking to see if you were still with us.
No, I'm still here.
All right, I'm gonna hop over to Swift real quick. I just noticed he posted. He mentions that a dark orc named Obakog seemed like a nice guy. Told him a few important things. He talks to Rex and offers to have the left hand handle this, and that they might be able to convince the right hand to help. The king is going to nod, and he's also going to look very stressed, confused, and like a little bit of despair is going to kind of wash over him. Because he doesn't really know what to do. Like, there's just a massive spider web of tunnels underneath what appears to be the entire continent. And at first they looked very, very fresh and new, but the farther away you got, the more you realize that these tunnels have been here for years. There's an entire civilization under his feet that he didn't even know existed.
Swift, before you leave, can you tell me the directions you went so I can go to the place you mentioned?
You will tell him that he went into the Underdark and found the city of Menzo Berenzin.
I'm asking for the directions. He is telling me the directions.
He will point out where he found the, basically going straight down after you find the proper trapdoor.
Alright, Shanawani.
Xavier just gonna be like, well, all right. What people are down there? Swift. So I know who I should turn into.
Shanawani gets an idea. You know, we might be able to actually get help from another source.
And who would that be?
Well, it's a group that you've been having good relations with, and not necessarily him. She points to Rex.
No. If you're implying we take help from the Drow Queen, then no.
Oh, not in a million years. I'm referring to the Scorpion people.
Oh, the Scorpion people are very dumb.
Well, like, uh, like, if we direct them, we can actually get all the runes out, so that we don't have to worry. So that should, in case she triggers it, she won't have anything to do so. They'll probably just trigger somewhere she didn't want hit.
Trust me, you will not be able to rely on the Scorpion people for this.
There, she pulls out. She takes out one of the pitons, and she puts it next near the rune to show what she means.
When you put the rune and the piton next to each other, they kind of magnetize to each other because the rune is magnetic. So it's relatively easy to pull out. You just need a lot of people and a lot of time to get all of them. Swift says he's going to run to the surface to get the left hand and the right hand, tell them what's up, and give them their mission. The right hand, normally I would do a whole narrative encounter just for that, but when they see that you are telling the truth about this massive conspiracy to bring down the whole fucking city, they're not going to hesitate. No matter how misguided they might be, nobody wants to collapse into a miles-long pit and die.
I
Yeah.
don't know, man. I would be down for it.
You go swan dive into a sinkhole. You're more than welcome to.
Sure. If we had them here, I would.
Shanawani sighs and going, well, I'm gonna have to find some. I'm gonna go talk to the college. And she leaves to the college.
Alright, and I'm gonna go on a little investigation. I'd like to see this place they've mentioned. As I turn into a tiefling, you know, since he mentioned that's one of the races down there, and I'll head the direction he told me.
Swift says, Xavier, you're not leaving.
Why? And you're spelled wrong. Why am I so? You can trust me. If I wanted to kill her, I would have done it long ago. I'm just gonna go, scout ahead, figure out the situation where she's at, all of that info. Then, after you're done with getting the ruins out, then I'll kill her. But I will not take a step at her life beforehand. I do realize that. I said I'm not gonna kill her. I'm just gonna scout.
Ouch.
Right, before you start mumbling about that, remember who got you that found this location, who even allowed you to be able to go downstairs, who allowed you to discover this threat. So if you're gonna act this way, I'm not gonna work with you, nor anyone here. Xavier's gonna leave the whole place.
Swift, as you leave with the king is going to turn to you and mutter very quietly, as if it's meant to almost be a secret, I think I finally see where you're coming from. Transform into me when you get the chance, and revoke Freya's status as next in line for the throne. I didn't want to admit it, I wanted to deny it, but this is too much evidence. There's an entire labyrinth under my city I didn't even know existed, and she knew about it, and if she was my ally, she would have told me. This is unforgivable. Yes, yes. We must start a task force to immediately disarm those runes.
Shanawani is already 10 steps ahead of him.
Alright. So let's do this in alphabetical order since everyone's in different directions doing different things. Shanawani, what is your character doing right this moment?
She is taking the rune, going to the college, and she's going to slam it down on Bon Bon Hoppington's desk.
You can see Tantalus has stopped by for a visit, and she's got Bun Bun in a headlock, and she's trying to force feed him a carrot. He goes, "No, no, I don't like carrots. Get it away! Get it away!" Ah!
Tantalus, please stop.
But he's a bunny, and bunnies like carrots. I don't want the carrot. Leave me alone.
Because right now I need to talk to him. It's very important now. Please put him down.
She puts him down, but she holds the carrot at him almost like it's a gun, and she goes, "Carrot, carrot," almost like pew pew.
Actually says again. Okay. Professor, I don't know your name.
His name is Bun Bun Hoppinsworth.
Okay. Professor Bon Bon, which he actually snorts a little. These are all are in some pillars all around, all underneath Rexland. We need all to go down there and remove them.
Pillars filled with runes, you say? How many are there?
They're spread out for miles.
Oh, dearie me, dearie me, dearie me. He starts looking through the registry of people who might be able to assist. Miles, 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 miles. Oh, this is going to take everyone. We'll even have to bring in the teachers. Can't have potentially dangerous pillars underneath our schools. This is horrible. And you see him start to nibble, like he's chewing on something, making his chubby little cheeks wiggle as he does so, as he pages through the registry of people who might be able to help. And his the little toe beans stick to the paper and flip it rapidly side to side.
She looks at this one. If I wasn't so serious, I would try and feed him a carrot. She actually waits. Oh, and by the way, my name is Shanawani. I'm one of Sharad's associates.
Oh, lovely to meet you. I always did like that chap. It's a shame he never participated in the school. I thought he was a dead ringer. You know, there's quests to do if you become part of the school, but no time for that now.
Yeah, but he's kind of stuck where he's at right now. What do you know about the Tomb of Horrors?
Tomb of Horrors? Well, as far as I'm aware, it's only mentioned in legend and myth.
Well, it exists. It's on Isla de Faustus. And he failed the quest test there, and now he's stuck as a drider.
Ah, those drow are so incorrigible. I tell you, some days I think they might all be evil. Of course I know better, but come on.
Now, yeah. So, and how is Tantalus reacting to this?
Tantalus has found somebody else to annoy, and she is demanding a piggyback ride from one of the college students. And he looks like he has just been drained by months of testing and exams and homework, and he could not be less interested.
Shanawani sighs. She grabs Tantalus and puts her on her back.
She holds her arms out like an airplane and starts kneeing you in the head. Airplane! Airplane! Or not airplane, but like bird! Bird! And she starts flapping her wings like a bird and demands that you run around the room so she can pretend to fly.
Shanawani, if you keep that up, I might put you in timeout.
No!
Sure, would.
She pouts. All right, so Bun Bun is going to get hard at work grabbing sending stones out of a drawer, frequently grabbing the wrong one and accidentally calling a fast food restaurant, and the fast food restaurant employee sounds very confused why he's asking him to disarm runes. Blast! Wrong one! I should really label these things. This trial and error is not working.
Yeah, yeah, I think maybe you should start lessons about learning how to use stuff with do stuff without magic, so you wouldn't be so focused on it.
Do things without magic? What is this heretical nonsense? Magic makes everything better. Nothing bad has ever happened because of magic. Just ask Aztashan.
Uh, who?
Aztashan. Oh, he's the court wizard. Although he's a little bit indisposed of, one of his experiments went slightly awry, and he's kind of fallen out of space and time.
So magic did cause something to go wrong.
No, magic is just a tool. He was being an idiot. If he had taken lessons at this college, it wouldn't have happened. Idoit. I like how your correction is also wrong.
It is wrong. It's meant to be. But she sighs and goes, just get them here, and I will guide you to the room so that it can be removed. It doesn't require a whole lot of brain power to do it. Just you'll be using these. She holds out some pitons.
Ah, nails. These are very strange nails. What are they meant to puncture?
They're simply meant to hold down rope hold down the rope to keep a tent up.
You adventurers have the strangest toys. Why don't you just do everything magically? Much simpler.
Because not all of us have the capacity to use magic. Now I do, but mine is for my arrows. Observe. She pulls out an arrow and starts readying a banishing arrow.
Ooh, very lovely. Would you like to guest teach one of our classes and teach them that vanishing arrow trick? I'm sure the children would be delighted.
Only if you do this and get Shorad back.
As soon as I find the correct sending stones, I will. And he's going to hop into the drawer, a very clearly human-sized drawer that is twice his size. And he's going to start sniffing around for the correct sending stone. This might take a while. And as Bun Bun Hoppinsworth sniffs around in a drawer full of magical rocks, we hop on over to Swift. Swift, what are you doing? Swift! Alright, we're skipping Swift and hopping on over to Xavier. What are you doing? Geyser. What are you doing, Swift? I think he was just mashing on the keyboard to get my attention, so I didn't skip his turn. Alright. So, motivated by the very motivating fact of not wanting to die in a sinkhole, they will very quickly assemble. And it is actually, it's almost scary how quickly dozens and dozens of people get to the same spot like that. The left and right hands have spectacular communication networks, and they're able to get places and get shit done like that. They almost move like Spec Ops units. So they are in and out and assembled, ready to go in no time flat. This is so cute. Corgis are adorable. Short little munchkin legs.
I'm more for pit bulls.
Kind of like Corgis remind me of they're like halflings but dogs. Doglings. See, I don't think pit bulls are cute because they look like even when they're trying to be cute, they still look like they're ready to rip your face off at a moment's notice. I know that they're not actually violent, but they look like they're meant to be. You know.
Yeah. Funny thing is, they were actually initially meant to be. They actually make great therapy dogs.
So I've heard. I mean, dogs are amazing. My people know what to do and know how to do it. There is a reason that this country is still in control by Rex. That is very true. There is a very real chance that without the left and right hands, King Rex potentially might have accidentally a empire collapse. Oof, shots fired. Okay. Anyway, Swift, you were able to assemble them and get them wherever you want to go to prevent the sinkhole apocalypse. Then what? All right. We'll hop on over to Xavier if you're busy. Xavier, what are you doing?
Well, uh, I'll just go and to my barony and just tell Trabaco, Thorig, Hapo, and Tom everything that we discovered while down there, and I'll tell and Trabaco to come with me.
All right. What are your orders for the others in the meantime?
Meantime, I just Rog, I'd like you to keep an eye out for any Minotaur activity or potential Freya, which I highly doubt. And Tom, I'd just like you to go around the area. You're pretty good with nature and survival. I'm pretty sure you'd be able to track down anything if the rock tells you. And Hapo, well, I'm not sure, but you might be able to help out with the runes. So if you can, I'd appreciate you going down there.
All right. So you're going to command them to go to where the pillars full of runes are?
Yes, Thorog, Tom, and Hapo to go there, and Juno and Trubako are coming with me.
Okay. They will head down to assist with the disarming effort. Where are you and Trabaco going?
I'll just go with them to the spot where it leads down to the Underdark, where I'm going to be waiting for Swift.
All right. Trabaco is going to be annoyed by the fact that doors exist in his presence without his permission. So unless you stop him, he's just going to swan dive and blast these trapdoors out of his way.
I'll stop him.
There we go. They're in the way. It's taking too long.
I'm gonna get Thorog. Do you want Thorog to come and headlock you? Good boy. Now let's wait here.
All right. Swift, are you back with us?
Actually, wait. Actually, I have a better idea.
What's
Look
up?
at you, and I'm just like, since I'm pretty sure you have the spell magic. Would you be able to help them with?
Yes, she will say that. Of course I can. I'd be happy to.
I'd be truly grateful if you'd help out, and I'm gonna go get Burr. So, since he's the one that could do some heavy.
All right. Burr is happy to help.
Okay, so as companions, I'll be having Burr and Trebek.
Getcha. I will actually be right back.